He don't say it for Nigeria. It's only in Nigeria that something that will be happening from another country, that it will be affecting Nigeria. My people, this video that you're about to watch, please watch this video to the very end of it. Don't let anything distract you not to watch this video to the very end, because what you're about to witness is what will prepare you as a Nigerian. Please, based on the information available to us, Dangote, the richest man in Africa, have come out and openly and made this known to the Nigerians that the kind of hardship that is coming to Nigeria is going to be disastrous if what is happening in Iran continue to last for some days. And it doesn't end there. Even your President Tinubu equally said the same thing. Then the question is this: why is it that everything that affects other countries always affect the Nigerians the most? So please, I'm urging you never to watch this video in a hurry. Watch it so that you will understand what is coming to Nigeria. All thanks to America for what they are doing. Nigeria will learn in a hard way. Please, let's watch the video. Don't go anywhere.
Returned from the UK, and the world saw how he was received in that country, and part of what he said he had to do then was to open the ways for business investors across borders. So how do you think that will help you as a big investor in Africa and in the world?
Well, I think it has opened ways. You know, today diplomacy without the economic part of it is not complete. So I believe his own visit will open quite a lot of doors, and you can see the agreement that was signed, you know, for, you know, actually improving our infrastructure, especially in the ports and other areas, which is almost 746 million pounds. That's quite a lot. It has not been, you know, it's not that easy dealing with British, getting this kind of money out of them. They too, they are struggling on their own. But I think this to show confidence is not about the money, it's about the confidence in Nigeria. So the moment that they do that, there will be other countries that will follow suit. So it's not the 746 million. We too can do that to any other country and invest. But I think it is something to show an appreciation of Mr. President's, good work, the infrastructure he has been building. This will help and complement. But there will be other countries that will do. Germany will come, so they will line up and start coming now.
All right, sir. This is supposed to be a win-win situation. So how do you think Nigerian investors should make the best out of this?
Well, for Nigerian investor, you know, it has shown that we can also go to the same agency and tap the resources. It means that the agency now is open for business for Nigerians. And we will go as infrastructure, as you know, private people, to go and look for them to give us support. It's a credit agency, which we haven't really tapped those resources for a very long time. So I think with what has happened now, it shows that there is capacity for them to fund some of our projects.
So we're having a situation from part of the world, volatility in the oil sector, and the effect on Nigeria and other parts of the world. What does this mean, really?
Well, it means quite a lot. We don't have much to do with it, but you know, the world is a global village, and it definitely will affect us, unfortunately, you know, but we pray this situation will be sorted out. It's not going to escalate. If it doesn't de-escalate, we'll end up paying, you know, big prices. Like what I said earlier on to CNN. If you look at it today, you know, Africa is very busy paying debt, and putting this again on top of us is going to add a lot of hardship on people, on the governments, on the people, on everybody. You know, for something that we have no really any involvement in it. If you look at it now, you know, when you talk about energy, energy affects almost everything, you know, and it's not only energy. Some people will try and take a chance and say, this is an opportunity, so let me make money, you know. So if this thing doesn't de-escalate, it is going to keep going up and up and up, and governments cannot really now go and add salaries also. So people will really feel the hinge. People who are now doing, barbers, people who are doing bread, people who have industries, who have to fire their own generator. You can see in some countries today what they've done, they ask everybody to work from home because they cannot, I think Indonesia also, they say no, only go to work 4 days a week, and they will look at the situation. If it doesn't improve, they will ask everybody not to go to work anymore. We will do like that time of COVID, where people will now go and work from home. So I pray, and we all need to pray that this thing de-escalates. If it doesn't de-escalate, normally we in Africa, we don't have any reserves in terms of savings or in terms of this. And so people normally go out and look for money for the next day or for the even same day, some of them. If they don't work that day, they won't eat. So I think really we just need all hands on deck to pray that this thing comes to an end.
I know this Middle East crisis will elicit inflation, will affect our purchasing power, the labor union and others will be gearing to ask us to support them because of the effect of the Middle East war and prices at the pumps, resulting in transportation problems and high prices.
Well, thank you very much. I think the British government has been very clever. They've turned economic diplomacy upside down and reinforced our neo-colonial status. What that deal that you've mentioned, you've detailed, will only benefit the British economy. It will revitalize their steel industry, which was ailing, and also enhance their banks. At the end of it, Nigeria will be into debt. The job creation will be jobs for the British, not jobs for Nigerians. So my view is that aside of the sumptuous banquet and the glamorous reception, the Nigerian government should have allowed the experts. We have a investment promotion commission to work out this deal. Because if you look at it, if you go further, all the equipments needed to renovate the ports and so on, they will all come from the British government, their export investment unit. So really, there's not much gain for Nigerians. That is why at times these deals, you have to allow experts to do the work and not just go in and sign an MOU. It's an MOU. My feeling is that at some point, I'm not a lawyer. The MOU, what they've should be submitted to the country's parliament for discussion before it is approved. But I don't know how far that will go now, because what you are saying that it will involve our citizens into debt for a very long time. When we take out these loans, we don't consider the intergenerational aspect of it. So for me, the British government has been very clever. They've turned what I call economic diplomacy upside down by giving that glamorous reception to our president. But underneath, they've strengthened their steel industry. Imagine us having a Jakarta and then we've not refurbished it over the years. It's not working. And then we are going to be importing steel from the British government based on this agreement. they will export steel to Nigeria. You know, we have Ajakuta, we have Oshobo. Nothing's being done to make sure that it is at optimum level. So so for me, it's not a benefit to Nigerians. That is why, rather than if you look at all the trips that our president has made over time to Europe and other countries, you want to ask what has been the outcome in terms of creating jobs for Nigerians, in terms of alleviating poverty. I would have thought that such a visit, our president and his team will have stressed 2 or 3 important issues, in my view. How can you help us ensure that we have steady power supply in Nigeria, electric power supply? Because right now we are running a generator-driven economy. What about the insecurity? I know we have some cooperation, but can we reinforce it? You know, and then the issue of reparation. You know, the relationship between Nigeria and Britain is not an equal relationship. It is an unequal one, because they were our colonizers. They looted our resources, and if for nothing else, you would have mentioned the issue of reparation instead of going to these economic deals that will further impoverish our people and put us into debt. I don't know whether I still have some time. And then if you see the resources being wasted, you know, the advanced party went, I think, 2 or 3 days before then. And then when I saw the whole thing on the screen, it looks like the entire cabinet of Nigeria were in London. So, and yet they could not fashion out something that is beneficial to the Nigerian people. So, as far as I'm concerned, if it's possible, I'm not a lawyer, those MOUs that have been signed in the sideline or the major economic MOU, since it's not an agreement, maybe in some countries it will be sent to the parliament to discuss and hopefully revisit the whole thing and say, look, the Nigerian people, which our parliament represents, are not in agreement with this deal.
Okay.
And let us re-examine it.
Okay.
We cannot have a steel industry that is collapsing or has collapsed.
Yeah.
Instead of us to try to revamp it, we are now going to sign a deal that the British government will be now exporting steel to Nigeria. Okay. So the whole deal is centered on rebuilding British steel industry, which has collapsed or is collapsing.
Okay.
And then enhance their banking system. You know, so to me, it doesn't benefit Nigeria at all. The issue of whether there are other ports in Nigeria is not, for me, is not important.
Yeah.
The issue is that they should allow their government agencies that get into this, where they will use experts, so that at the end of the day, at least something will come to Nigeria. The way I see it is not a win-win.
Nigeria as a country will suffer the most when, as this Iran, imagine something that is happening on the way to the west, not even in Africa, and Nigeria government and their economic strategies, the world man business monopoly, have come out and made it openly that it will be a very disastrous and hardship to Nigeria for what that is happening to another country, Iran. That is to say that is already a calculated game that they have planned and kept in place, and now they want to perfect it. But well, however it is, Biafrans will always have a plan B. God is always on our side. We shall be victoriously in any angles, in any edges that they bring it on. We shall defeat them all. Yes, they have done it during the times of Biafra war, and we defeat them. I'll talk more of this time. We shall be more victorious. And I'm telling you this for you to prepare your mind. I'm telling you this for you to know what is coming ahead of you. Because it's only the common man that suffers the most. Not this politician, not this access to call themselves politician. Because when it happens, you will see them, you know, buying the whole market. Then and left nothing for a common man. But well, however it is, Biafrans will be more ahead before them. And that is why we are bringing this message before you, so that you will prepare yourself. So that at the end, we will not cry, had I known. But at the end, the only solution left for what is going to hit the world and what is going to hit Nigeria is total disintegration, so that we will know our value. A lot a lot of damages have been done, and we cannot continue like this. This is the time. The Fulanis have been rampagely destroying the farmland, and now the one-man monopoly, they is now telling the Nigerians that the inflation is going to hit the Nigeria because he's going to make more profit. Let him keep making more profit, and Nigeria will be sinking day in, day out. At the end, Biafra will march. Please, my people, share this video. Share it widely, because if you are silent over this, that means you want your family to be affected. I'm only a messenger. I come in peace. If you love what I do here in this Global Love Channel TV, please don't hesitate to touch a hand for subscribe button, like and turn on the notification bell, so that whenever we upload a new video like this, you'll be the first person to be notified. And in doing that, we encourage you not to do more, because togetherness, we shall save life together. Africa life matters. Don't play with your life, because your life should be your first priority in whatever you do. Till next time, see you in my next video. Bye for now. Thank you.